In other North Carolina news, all right, so the Board of Elections certifies most North Carolina election results. Let's just read this. This is from spectrumlocalnews.com/North Carolina/Charlotte/news/2020. You get the idea. The race for Chief Justice remains the top unresolved race after Tuesday's statewide election canvass. The North Carolina Board of Elections certified the results of the 2020 election just before noon. The move concludes all of the post-election day steps officials must take. Now, for those of you that don't know, the Chief Justice race here in North Carolina is dangerously close. Every time I look at it, right, it's like the other person is up by like 100 votes, and then they find a new, batch of ballots, and then the other person is up by 60 votes, and it's like, it's super fucking close, right? Super fucking close. So, the canvass vote did not include 5 races within the state's board's purview that still have pending challenges. By far the highest profile is the race for Chief Justice of the North Carolina Supreme Court. The North Carolina Supreme Court is a super important institution because if it gets, overwhelmingly Democrat over Republican, we can start seeing a bunch of, like, a safeguard, essentially. If the people in the assembly say, hey, we want to fuck around and destroy the lives of our citizens for, corporate profits, right? The Democrat-controlled Supreme Court could theoretically say, hey, fuck off, bitch, and then we're good. So it's like a safeguard, right? You should know how the courts work. But if you don't, there you go. 41 counties had yet to finish their recounts for this race. As of early Tuesday afternoon, Republican Paul Newby so far has maintained his lead of a little more than 400 votes over Democrat Sherry Beasley. So 400 votes right now. And this was published yesterday. So again, 400 votes, not that much, okay? Also excluded from the canvass vote were the races for House District 36, Judicial Circuit 10F, Wayne County Register of Deeds, and the Hoke County Board of Education. This list does not include a handful of county-administered races that are currently undergoing recounts. Tuesday's vote was not unanimous. Tommy Tucker, one of the 2 Republicans on the board, this is the Board of Elections, voted not to certify the results of the election because of the board's changes to the absentee ballot verification process in late September. This is kind of one of those like Trump things. Oh, well, it's fake. They're all fake. Even though Trump won North Carolina, it's still fake in these minds, right? Mail-in ballots. The mail-in ballots. At the time, board members made changes to the process that allows voters to fix problems with their absentee ballots. Tucker said any changes to election procedure are solely the domain of the state legislatures under the U.S. Constitution. He said the changes did not impact the result of the election, but could have in a truly close race. The board's 3 Democrats took issue with Tucker's comments. Stella Anderson said the board's actions have been reviewed and approved by the courts. She said that the board took the actions it did due to concerns regarding the U.S. Postal Service's ability to deliver mail-in ballots. Again, if you don't want, these safeguards to be put into place so the people's votes can be counted, how about you don't fuck up the USPS, right? An idea out there. The canvass also officially certifies Donald Trump as the winner of the presidential race. Ugh, right? Ugh. No good. No good. Ugh.
No good. Really bad for you.
Bad stuff. By law, North Carolina's electors must award Trump all 15 of the state's electoral votes when the Electoral College meets on December 14th. The move comes on the same day Pennsylvania officials officially certified Joe Biden as the winner of the presidential election there. So, there's a little local North Carolina news. North Carolina, I think, was one of the last states that were called. I think Georgia was the second to last, and then they're like, yeah, I guess Trump wins North Carolina, though the writing was on the wall. But my point here is that, again, elections, they do sometimes come down to the wire, especially in these more local races, and that's why voting is so important. Assuming voting doesn't take 7 hours or you have these long voting lines, you should probably just go there and vote. You should probably take, 20, 30 minutes to look up the candidates. And also, it should be easier to look up these candidates. That's another thing, and that's what we got to do. That's why I do stuff like this. If I can take a few minutes of my day to talk about North Carolina politics, someone might stumble upon this and have a slightly better, more informed view of things down the line. That's what we're here for, right? State politics, especially municipal politics, hardly ever are these covered. It's almost impossible to find information on almost everyone involved in, like, especially municipal politics, unless you live in a city or something. If you live in a city, it might be a little bit easier. But if you live in a small town, especially like I do, right? Chances are you're not going to know jack fuck all about your local government, and finding this information is very difficult. So that's why I'm trying to lean more into doing local news sometimes, every once in a while. Um, but yeah, there you go.